You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
I think it's very important that we say unequivocally, no closures, no to restrictions, and no mandates. Floridians are free to choose, and all Americans should be free to choose how they govern their affairs, how they take care of themselves and our families, and they should not be consigned to live, regardless of which state in the union, consigned to live in a Faucian dystopia in which we're governed by the whims of bureaucratic authorities who care little for our freedom, little for our aspirations, and little for our happiness. No more. We can't let it happen going forward.
No more. July 29, 2021, the words of Florida Governor DeSantis challenging and saying we are not going to be bullied and pushed around by the Biden administration using their fake science, which they really can't document. You want a clear example? Since he's relying on Dr. Fake himself, Biden, in the Biden White House, you go back to how Dr. Fake approached this COVID to begin with, in the very beginning. He said, not a big deal, not going to be a big deal. Science says not going to be a big deal. And then later, you will not need a mask. Science shows a mask will not do you any good. And then later he claimed, well, I lied about the mask because we want to make sure we had enough masks available for hospital personnel and not the citizens buying them up quickly. Fauci, you were head of National Institutes for Health and Infection for years before that event happened, and you had not prepared to be ready for something like that happening? Even though you knew the Wuhan lab was conducting gain-of-function studies, which you were helping fund. You denied it, but you were, and it was gain-of-function. It was trying to see how we can take a virus from an animal and weaponize it and use it against humans, or how we find a way to defeat such a virus. So which science are you supposed to follow now? And now we just continue to divide people. There's a division inside my own family, various relatives, maybe in yours. There's a division if you walk into a store and you don't have a mask on and the sign says optional if you've been vaccinated. Well, no one's going to ask me if I've been vaccinated. In fact, I dare them to do so. There are other times I'm going into the store, I might go ahead and put on a mask. It's the whim of what I decide at the time. But what about you being arrested for not wearing a mask? Arrested. It's happening. Let me read this order from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today. It's a statement to Capitol Police. She specified all Capitol Police personnel must wear a mask at all times. And additionally, she adds, if staffers who are accompanying a member refuse to wear a mask, that refusal should be noted, reported to a supervisor. Refer that matter to the House Sergeant-at-Arms. If they are congressional members, do the same thing. But anyone else who's inside, if you're not wearing a mask, you will be arrested. Do they have that kind of authority? And there's confusion everywhere. This confusion is if the vaccine is working anyway, or does it work just on the original COVID-19 and now the Delta variant, or more to come. I understand that some of this is still developing case. I understand that. But what gets me is that when you got one side that just flat locks down either side and saying everybody has to be vaccinated, everyone has to wear a mask even if they're vaccinated, or the other side, yeah, I'm not going to be vaccinated. You cannot force me to be vaccinated. Are you then a threat to the community and your family? We got a lot to cover on that, the confusion. St. Louis County, from St. Louis County confusion all the way to California and everywhere else across the nation. And the other question is, if you're really serious about containing COVID and you want to make sure you follow the science, riddle me this: where is the science that says during this COVID crisis it's okay to have an open border and allowing hundreds of thousands of untested illegals to enter on a constant basis and then spread all across our nation? Where is that science? Oh, that's politics. That's political science. That I understand. We got a lot to cover the next 2 hours. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can hear podcast of this program at Larry Connors USA Facebook. Larry Connors USA Facebook.